So imagine this. You're just a regular woman raising 4 kids, juggling 2 jobs, and caring for your sick mother when you decide to finally speak up. You've kept a secret your whole life, that your father is one of the most powerful men in music, Jay-Z. That's the position Leticia Mer says she was in when she came forward last year, claiming to be Hove's firstborn daughter. And not just claiming, she came with receipts, a DNA test, a long paper trail, even witnesses backing her story. But just as quickly as she came out swinging with her truth, she vanished. Like deleted everything and disappeared, kind of vanished. And now the internet's wondering what or who made her go silent. Because if you believe the whispers, this wasn't just some publicity stunt gone quiet. According to the streets, Leticia didn't back off because of shame or embarrassment. No, folks are saying she was threatened, and not by just anyone, but allegedly by Beyoncé's camp. Yep, Queen Beyonce herself, the icon, the performer, the billionaire, may have decided that this outside daughter was getting a little too close to Blue Ivy's throne. And if there's one thing Beyoncé doesn't mess around with, it's her legacy, especially when it involves her kids. Now, you might be thinking, wait, why would Beyoncé even care? Jay-Z's made mistakes before. True, but let's rewind a bit to understand the mindset. See, Beyoncé's own father, Matthew Knowles, had multiple outside kids during his marriage to Tina Knowles, and the fallout, it was messy. She cut ties, she fired him as her manager, she's never acknowledged her half-siblings, ever. Despite them living just miles away and even going public about their pain, Bays remained completely silent. Not a text, not a dime, not even a public statement. One of the mothers even said she cried in the bathroom because her son would ask why his famous sister didn't love him. So when you look at that history, it kind of makes sense why Beyoncé might feel some type of way about her husband's alleged outside children. It's not just about betrayal, it's about control, about keeping the image clean, the narrative tight, and her daughter Blue Ivy firmly positioned as the Carter heir. We've all seen the moves. Blue's starring in projects, touring with her mom, walking red carpets. She's not just the daughter of Jay and Bey, she's being groomed for the spotlight. But now Leticia Mer steps in and says, hold up. I'm the firstborn. That changes the whole narrative. Suddenly, Blue isn't the first daughter. She's not the only one carrying Jay's bloodline into the spotlight. And if Leticia's story is true, that could throw the entire Carter legacy off balance. No wonder the rumors say Bey took action. Leticia's story hit hard. She said she lived her entire life in a city where everyone knew who her father was, but no one talked about it. Her mom had multiple sclerosis, and Leticia was forced to grow up fast, working, studying, raising her siblings. She kept quiet, tried to do the right thing, but after nearly 3 decades, she had enough. She said it was time to speak up. Her posts were raw, emotional, and full of receipts, including a DNA test she swore proved Jay-Z was her father. But then, poof, gone. The posts were deleted. Her account vanished. People tried to follow up, but it was like she never existed. That's when the whispers started. Did Beyoncé's team shut her down? Did she get paid off? Or worse, did she get scared? Because this isn't the first time someone claiming to be Jay's kid has gone silent. And the pattern? It's starting to look a little too familiar. Before Leticia even came into the picture, there was already a storm brewing around Jay's alleged secret son, Rymir Satterthwaite. He'd been trying to get the rapper to acknowledge him for years, and just like Leticia, Rhymir wasn't after a check. He was asking for a DNA test. That's it, a simple swab. But despite chasing this for more than a decade, Jay-Z never agreed, which only made people more suspicious. If he's not the father, then why not take the test and shut it down? According to Rymir, it wasn't just Jay-Z dodging him. He claimed that Beyoncé's influence played a huge role in keeping the truth buried. His legal guardian, Lily, backed this up, saying that early on there were friendly conversations with Jay's lawyers about resolving everything privately. They even discussed the idea of Rhymir pursuing music, maybe even signing to Roc Nation. But the moment someone in Jay's circle realized Rhymir's mother might have been underage when she got pregnant, the tone shifted fast. Suddenly, lawyers lawyers clammed up and the whole thing became hostile. That's when Lily said she started feeling the heat, not just legal pressure, but what felt like threats. There were whispers that Beyoncé's team had gotten involved. A friend of Lily's reportedly heard someone close to Beyoncé say, "Tell him to go away. Go away, little boy." That line stuck with Rhymir for years. It wasn't just dismissive, it felt personal. Like someone powerful wanted him silenced. And if that wasn't enough, investigative reporter Liz Crokin looked into the case and said intimidation tactics had allegedly been used against Rhymir and Lily for years. According to her, this wasn't a normal paternity dispute. There were layers of influence, fear, and manipulation. And then came the most bizarre twist. After 15 years of legal back and forth, a judge finally ordered Jay-Z to take a DNA test. It looked like Rhymir was finally about to get the closure he'd been fighting for, but just when everyone thought it was going to happen, Rhymir suddenly filed a motion to drop the case. No explanation, no warning, just silence. It didn't make sense. Why fight that long only to back out at the finish line? That's when people started pointing fingers again. The timing felt off. The silence was deafening. The streets began saying Beyoncé had allegedly gotten involved again, pulling strings behind the scenes to protect her husband and their brand. The idea that Beyoncé might be involved in this kind of thing doesn't sit well with a lot of her fans. After all, she's built her image on empowerment, love, and family. But there's another side to her that some insiders have hinted at for years, that when it comes to control, especially over her personal life, she doesn't play. She's been described as hyper-public and fiercely protective and unafraid to cut off anyone who crosses a line. And honestly, it tracks. Look at her history. Her father stepped out on her mom, and she cut him off professionally and personally. She's never said a word publicly about her half-siblings, and now when people start popping up claiming they're tied to her husband's past, they seem to vanish just as quickly as they appeared. That's the pattern. Speak out, then disappear. Raise your voice, then go quiet. And whether it's coincidence or something darker, it's got people talking. Because when the same story plays out again and again, it stops feeling like gossip and starts sounding like a strategy. Leticia's sudden disappearance hit different. The way she was posting confident, emotional, ready to tell it all, it didn't seem like someone who was gonna back down. Her DNA claims, her childhood stories, the names she dropped, it all felt too personal to be fake. She even had a friend of her mother's backing her, saying she personally introduced Jay-Z to Leticia's mom decades ago and remembered them partying together like it was yesterday. This wasn't some random woman fishing for clout. She had names, addresses, receipts, and then nothing. Her account gone, her posts wiped, her voice muted. The theories started flying fast. Had she been paid off? Was she threatened? Did Beyoncé's camp send a warning loud enough to shut her down? The internet had questions, but nobody had answers. And that's what made the whole situation even creepier. Every time someone tried to shed light on Jay-Z's alleged outside kids, the light kept getting snuffed out. Same playbook. Loud entrance, quiet exit. Meanwhile, fans started noticing something else. Beyoncé was ramping up Blue Ivy's public image even more. From touring with her across continents to featuring her in high-profile campaigns, Blue wasn't just Beyoncé's daughter anymore. She was a brand, a legacy, the chosen one. And when you look at it through that lens, it makes a lot more sense why Beyoncé might go full Mama Lion if someone tried to disrupt that image. If Leticia's story gained traction and was proven true, it would instantly make Blue the second daughter, not the first. That little shift could shake the Carter empire more than people realize. This isn't just about kids, it's about power, image, and legacy. Jay-Z isn't just a rapper, he's a billionaire mogul, a business partner to some of the most powerful names in entertainment. Beyoncé isn't just a pop star, she's a cultural icon, a living brand. Their family is polished, purposeful, and tightly controlled. Every public appearance, every quote, every outfit, it's all curated to perfection. And when you've built that kind of empire, the last thing you want is a crack in the foundation, especially not one that questions who your real family is. But here's where it gets real messy. Jay-Z has never publicly addressed any of these allegations. Not Rhymir, not Leticia, not the rumors, nothing. And silence like that is speaks volumes, especially when multiple people from different places and different times all tell similar stories. Being ignored, being dismissed, being silenced. At some point, people stop asking, "Is this true?" and start asking, "Why won't he just deny it with a test?" It's not like these kids are asking for a chunk of the Carter fortune. They're not suing for millions or demanding to live in a mansion. They're asking for acknowledgement, a sentence, a swab, some honesty. But what they get instead are lawyers, roadblocks, and according to them, intimidation. And fans are noticing. The love people have for Beyoncé and Jay-Z is real. But even the most loyal followers can't ignore how calculated this all looks. How every potential threat to their image seems to disappear, how silence has become their shield, and for some, that silence is starting to feel like guilt. Leticia may have vanished, but her story left a mark. The same with Rymir, and who knows how many more are out there, watching, waiting, wondering if they'll ever get a chance to be heard, because in the Carter Kingdom, blood might not be enough. If you're not part of the plan, you might not exist at all.